Hello viewers, hello listeners. Welcome to our today's math lesson. My name is Teacher Dennis. Allow me to take you through a topic of discussion today, squares and square roots. So today we are going to look at the square roots of numbers. As we all know, previously we looked at the squares of numbers. Just to remind ourselves, we say that a square of a number is a number multiplied by itself. For example, if they ask you to get the square of 10, we were taking 10 times 10. So today is going to be a bit different, given that we are going to look at the square root of numbers. So I want to take you through a very simple way in which we can use to work out the square root of numbers. Now, for example, an example, we are given a question to work out. So this one simply represents the square root sign. This one is the square root sign. So whenever you see this sign, it represents the square root. And don't confuse with division. Division will just be like that. But with square root, there's an extension of a tail here. So this shows the square root. So in simple terms, they're asking us to get the square root of 64. The square root of 64. Now in this case, we have a method we can apply to get the square root of 64. Many people have it off head. They know whenever they are asked to get the square root of 64, they just know the answer is 8. Now the big question is, how do you come up with 8? For some people who don't know how to get 8 as an answer, these are more simplified way of getting this particular answer as 8. So we are going to apply a method called prime factorization, and in this case we are going to use a factor tree so that we can get to know why the answer is 8. So we can draw a factor tree. We write 64, then we draw some branches. So we look at a prime number, the lowest prime number, which when multiplied by another number will give us 64, and that is 2. Always try with 2. So 2, when you multiply 2 by 32, you are likely to get 64. So 2 times 32 is 64. Again, you subdivide 32. Again, you can as well try with 2. When you multiply 2 times 16, you are going to get 32. Again, the 16, you again further subdivide. You can as well use a prime number, 2 as a prime number, because 2 is divisible by 16. So you will definitely have here 8, so that when you multiply 8 times 2, you get 16. Again, you look for a number, again 2. You look for a number that when you multiply by 2, you get 8, and that is 4. Then here, again 2. A number that you multiply by 2, you will get 4, and that is 2. So when you see the two numbers aligned down here, that means that marks the end of your calculation. So we cannot proceed further because we no longer use 1. We no longer use 1 because 1 is not a prime number. 1 is not a prime number. So we better use 2, or we use 3, like that. So we are advised to always use prime numbers when multiplying on this other far end. Once we are done with that, now the prime factors, these are the prime factors. We have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So we are advised that these prime factors that we have been listed here, we group them into pairs. So we have the first pair, that is pair number 1. This is another pair. This is another pair. Remember, a pair is made up of 2 items. So here we have 2 numbers. 2 numbers, 2 numbers. We have paired them. So from each pair, you just pick one number. So this is 2. That is 2. Here you pick one number, is 2. Here you pick one number, is 2. Now, for us to get the square root of 64, we will take these numbers that we have picked. We have 2, we have 2, we have 2. We multiply them. So the square root of 64, the square root, therefore, the square root of 64 will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 2, we shall get 4 multiplied by 2, we shall get 8. So now 8 forms the square root of 64. 8 forms the square root of 64. So that means that for us to get the square root, we have to apply a method known as prime factorization. And in prime factorization, we apply it by drawing. We apply prime factorization by drawing a factor tree. Drawing a factor tree. Maybe you can give another example too to reinforce on the idea of square root of numbers. Maybe we want to get the square root of 100, the square root of 100. We can draw the factor tree. The factor tree. So here we have 100. So as I said earlier, we start with the smallest prime numbers, that is 2. So 2, when you multiply 2 by 50, you get 100. Again, you come here. 2, you look for a number that when you multiply by this prime number, you get 50, and that is 25. Again, you come here, you look for, now 2 cannot be applicable here. So the prime numbers, we are done with the prime numbers. So you look for the 2 numbers that will be multiplied by themselves, you get 25, and that would be 5 multiplied by 5. Why not 3? There is no number that you multiply by 3, you will get 25. There is no number that you multiply by 4, you will get 25. So we just simply go to 5 times 5. So when it reaches this case, we are not restricted to the use of prime numbers, because we understand 5 is not a prime number, yes, but now the situation will force us to now move ahead, given that there is no any other prime number that will be multiplied by another number to get 25. So in this case, we break the rule by moving on to look for the 2 numbers that will be multiplied, we'll get 25. Once we are done, we'll have to get the pairs. This is the first pair. This is the second pair. And from each pair, you take one number. So here is 2. You take 2. You take 5. So to get the square root of 100, we get 2 multiplied by 5, and our answer becomes 10. So 10 is the square root of 100. 10 is the square root of 100. Thank you so much. That marks the end of our today's topic, the square root of numbers. Remember to use prime factorization method, and that one is only achieved when you draw a factor tree and then look at the factors of. The factors of 64 in this case were 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, and 2. The factors of 100 here were 2, 2, 5, and 5. So in simple terms, once you have drawn a factor tree, try to come up with the factors. Those factors should be listed in pairs, and then from each pair, you just pick one value. And those values picked, you will multiply them, and then you get the square root. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. My name is Teacher Dennis Oma Olon. You can get me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, share, like, and also press the notification bell so that whenever I post another video, you are able to get it right and then have a meaningful session in mathematics. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.